welcome to my channel. Today we're going to attempt to make some faux biscuits and butter. I want to make a stick of butter with some slices detached. And I have a clear butter dish that I want to stage that in. And I also want to make biscuits. So I've never made these before either, and I've either of these things, biscuits or the butter. I've also never seen anyone make them. So typically when I get an idea to make something, I will Google search and go to YouTube, and I will read all kinds of crafting articles, and I will watch all kinds of tutorials to try to find the best way to go about doing it. But I feel confident enough in my faux food making artistry, if you will, that I kind of know what materials work best and how to use them for different types of projects. And I think I can pretty much kind of wing it and come up with something that I enjoy making and that works well for me, and I'm happy to share it with all of you. I am sure that if you do like I do and you're kind of like in those beginner stages, you could easily Google search some articles that show you step-by-step pictures, like still pictures, or tutorials if that's more, YouTube tutorials, if that's more your vibe of learning. Then I'm sure you can find countless videos on those things. The world of YouTube and Google are great resources for crafters. I'm going to start with Model Magic. And the reason I like using Model Magic is because it's air dry, number one. And it over time as it dries, it holds its shape very well. But it also doesn't crack. And it doesn't, it has a softer texture. When it's dried and cured and done and painted and it's all said and done, it has a better texture for a biscuit than other things would. I have used this in my carrot tutorial, and it worked well for that. So I am sure that this Model Magic, just plain white, will work well. You can get this at Walmart in a big tub of single packets like this. I think you might get like 6 of these packets in there, 5 or 6. For like $15, or you can also get smaller packets sometimes from the Dollar Tree, or you can also look at Michael's and Hobby Lobby. They also have it. It's just packaged a little bit different. And this, I believe, is the Crayola brand. So we're going to start by just opening this packet up, and I'm going to take out a little bit. I'm not going to, I don't know that I'll use the whole bag. Then again, I might. And what I'm going to do to film this is I'm going to drop you down so you can see what I'm doing once I get it out of the package. Okay, so I'm just going to work some of this in my hands. I'm going to try to measure out with my hand, pinching off the same amount and make like 6 balls like this. See how it's giving me this layered effect? I will go in and kind of push these together after we're done, but that's what's going to give me that realistic bread looking on the outside. Okay, I've been doing several layers, and I'm going to lift it up and pull you close so you can see what it's starting to look like. See all those lovely layers in there? So I think this is about the size, the height of the biscuit that I want it to be. So now I'm just going to play with it a little bit and try not to disturb the layers too much and try to make it a little bit more uniform, not perfect. I don't want it perfect. I definitely want it to look like a biscuit. But I think what I might do is just take it around and do, a little bit of a zhuzhing, I don't want to push on it because I want that height. But I want to just give it a little push, give it a little love, going around, give it a little love here. I don't know about you all, but my biscuits never are, they don't look identical. they're not twins. They're all like sisters, as they say with eyebrows. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to go ahead and keep doing this thing. I want to blend those together so it gives the appearance of a flaky biscuit. And remember, be gentle. You don't want to, I like the little dimpling that's happening here because that's going to, you know, it's okay that it looks that way. I want to get rid of any sharp dimples where it appears it's been poked or something. But I'm okay with the unevenness. The bottom I'm not as concerned about. This side has a little bit of wonkiness to it, as you can tell, but I'm still okay with that because biscuits are kind of like that. So this one is done. I'm going to let this dry for 24 hours, and then we're going to do the paint technique that'll really make this look like a biscuit. That's drying. We're going to go ahead and start working on our butter. So I want a good pat of butter, you know, like a stick of butter. So I'm just going to get my little pull off a bunch of that Model Magic, and I'm going to work it in my hands a little bit, and then I'm going to roll and roll and roll. You know how that goes. I need to get rid of this seam, so I'm going to kind of work at it, pinch it, rub it, you know, whatever I need to do. The seam will eventually go away. I can double it up, roll, and I'm just going to keep working at it until I get it the shape that I want. So after doing this for about 30 minutes and being very gentle on wax paper, nice and smooth, I've gotten it to be nice and smooth in the shape that I want all the way around. And that is going to be my stick of butter. Now I'm going to make my little single slices off of it. And how am I going to do that? Well, I don't want to ruin this slab of butter. I don't think, but I might. So let me see if I have a butter knife that I can try to get some slices off of. I'm going to try to go ahead and make my slices this way because this is the actual length of a stick of butter, like 8 tablespoons or whatever. I'm going to try. I'm so scared. Let me see what it does if I cut through this. Let me see. Actually, it should cut okay. And if I mess up with fingerprints, I'll just have to do my pat again. So let's try this. I also have my X-Acto knife to try as well. Let me see if that... Actually, this may work better. So I'm just going to take a few slats. All right. So I have my little butter pat. I'm going to keep working at the shape. Now, tomorrow morning, it should be done enough that I can come down and actually do my paint. Now I'm working to get this smooth because as you can see, there's some little pockets. So I'm going to work at getting it as smooth as I can. So, and it takes a minute, you know, you just got to be patient. It definitely takes patience to make faux food. And it's a process. It's not instant gratification. There is no instant gratification in faux food. None. This smooth surface also helps to give a smooth surface more than the wax paper. Wax paper can wrinkle a little bit, so trying to do it on here does help. Okay. We're getting there. while I work out these bubbles, I'm gonna work on those, and then I'll be back. So I have my butters, my stick of butter done. I have my 2 pats of butter done, and I have one of my biscuits done. Now I'm just gonna work on making a few extra of the pats and extra of the biscuits, and we should be in good shape to paint and stage, paint tomorrow and then stage the following day. So it's a 3-day process. Okay, so it is the next day, and I've turned them over so they can dry a little bit more on the bottom while I mix some paint, but they turned out fine. And what I love most is that, you know, they still have the texture of, like, they're not hard. They still have a little spongency, I guess, buoyancy. I don't know. Anyway, they turned out fine. So there is a little bit of wrinkling on the bottom from the wax paper, but I'm not too bothered about it because you don't really see that. But they turned out really well, so I'm going to mix up some paint, and I'm going to get started on painting these. I have some various shades that I'm going to be using. I'm just using what I have on hand. I did not go by specific paint colors for these projects. So I think for the butter, I definitely need it to have some yellow. So I'm going to have to do some mixing, and what I thought I would do was, this is more of a golden color, but it's a little too golden for butter. So I can lighten that up, and maybe with just a hint of the brighter yellow to kind of vibrant the color up a bit, vibrant the tint up, but also mix it with a little bit of the vanilla off-white, opaque, you know, off-white color. I think between the two of these mainly, I'll get the color that I want for the butter. But this I kept on hand just in case I need to brighten it up a little bit, because these are definitely warm and this is more cool. So, well, this is technically warm as well because it's a darker shade of yellow, but however, it's definitely brighter than these two. And then for the biscuits themselves, I'm gonna play around with a mix of the teddy bear, which is one of my favorite. It's called Teddy Bear Tan. This is one of my favorite colors to use for my coffee lattes and things like that. It's just top notch, the best color for that. Looks like a Starbucks in a bottle right there. And then this is also one of my go-tos. It's called Cocoa. It's just a little bit darker. So I think between the two and maybe adding a little bit of this color in as well, which this is called Golden Sunset, I might be able to get the exact color and shading I want for all of for the butter and the biscuits combined. So stay tuned. Let's get to mixing. So that's just a crafting tip. I think most crafters do that. So I'm just gonna give a shake and fill these trays up with some of these colors here and see where my brush takes me. And I'm just gonna kind of squirt some out here. And it's nice because I'll have a mixing tray if I want to mix two of the colors or whatever. And I'm not gonna do a whole lot. I can always get more. So I'm just gonna squirt out a little bit of the colors, and then, oh, I'm getting ready to open a new one. Squirt out a little bit, and then I will go back if need be and add more to my tray. I don't like to waste paint because paint is expensive when you craft as much as I do. I don't want to be buying paint all the time, so I moved all of my tools. I used to keep scissors and everything kind of handy right here, close by, and I moved it all over to those shelves over there. So now I'm like, you know, I try to remember and grab my supplies before I sit down, because I don't like my desk being covered in supplies. I needed more work area since I was giving up some work area on the side there. So anyway, I'm gonna just mix a little bit of this, you know, together. Well, I'm not mixing it yet. I'm gonna start out with one shade and kind of mix as I go. That's how I do it. Unless I know I need a certain color, then I'll go ahead and mix. I need to buy more of this sunset, golden sunset, because I am almost out of that. I'm gonna add this one. I picked out 5 paints, and I have 5 paint trays here. I do have some white, some plain white that I may need. So I'm gonna go ahead. I don't think I'll need any more of that, if I even need that. So I might add a little bit of white to my tray so I don't have to go back and get any of that. And then we'll get to painting. So basically what you're going to do is you're staining. You're going to paint on the color, and I'm using Sunset, no, I'm using the teddy bear, sorry. I'm using the gold, nope. I'm using teddy bear. So I'm using the teddy bear tan, blah, blah, blah. Using that teddy bear tan, and then water. So I'll go on with teddy bear tan, and then after the teddy bear tan is on, I'm wiping it off. I let it sit for a second, and then I go over it with water, and as I apply it, I'm also applying it with a wet brush, a watered down brush, and then I just go over it and over it and over it and over it until I get a biscuit looking texture. So if you feel like it's too light, like I really like this one right here. Let me show you this one. This one looks perfect. This one I messed up on, and this one too that's beside of it, kind of messed up on it. So I'm going back over it a little bit. Now, this one I'm going to use the golden, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm so excited. You want to add a little burnt around this side. You add some darker brown, and you just go around those edges where you expect it to be a little bit more brown, maybe a little bit on top here. Okay, and then you just go back and dab with your trusty paper towel. And you'll start to get the burning edges a little. So that's it for the faux food video. And it looks like I'm gonna have this up Wednesday, which I'm super excited about. You're seeing it Wednesday, unless you turn in late. I'm posting it Wednesday. I really enjoyed making it. I had a lot of fun doing it. I love model magic and playing with it. I love to paint, so I really enjoyed that. I think this project, my favorite part was the butter. I don't think that could have turned out any better than what I had imagined it to turn out like. So I'm really happy with that. The biscuits look more like pancakes to me in a way, but that's okay. I still love them. I still think they're cute. I think that at a glance, they could look like a muffin. Maybe not a biscuit, but a muffin. I think that the coloring of them lends more to a muffin or a pancake, pretty much. So I'm gonna keep practicing at this. I'm going to keep trying at my biscuits and make them as realistic as possible. But I am happy with them. I do like them. I am very proud of them, and I'm happy to stage them. They're very cute. You know, I should have probably tried, instead of the paint, I probably could have gone lighter on the paint and maybe tried my coffee grunge. I wonder if the coffee grunge would have given it a better look. Or even cinnamon. Cinnamon, I didn't even think to try cinnamon. Nonetheless, I will keep tweaking and playing with this, but I wanted to share my first time making them with you all so that it would encourage you to be brave and to try. Your first attempt at making a faux food might not turn out exactly like you have it in your head or what you want, but trying helps you to learn. That's how we do learn. That's how we get better and our skills evolve. So I'm happy with it. I'm proud of it, and I can't wait to make more in the future because they will get better. There's only better and improving from here on out. So I'm happy with it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, give it a thumbs up. I really want to see, you know, everybody enjoying these types of videos, especially as we gear up for fall. I think these are the type of things that would be fun to create, things for your trays, to create vignettes for your home, to make it cozy. Even when you don't feel like baking, you can have baked goods sitting all around you and you won't eat them. It's good for a diet plan because you can't eat them. They're fake. So I'm exhausted. I'm going to call it a night and come back Sunday when we have our regular videos. And until Sunday, I will see you then. Bye.